Hi guys, it's Suri, so welcome back to my channel. Today's video is very special for me because this is apparently, somehow, actually my 500th video on YouTube. Now we just need to all let that settle in for a second. It means I'm old and I have somehow made 500 videos. This is crazy to me, genuinely. Like, I saw this number the other day and I was like, what? And you know, I kind of calculated it out and I thought it would be kind of cool to do this particular video, which I was planning to do anyway, for my 500th video, because that makes it, I guess, a bit more special. But this is basically the Booktube Real Talk Tag, which is kind of a tongue twister that has been going around the book sphere here on YouTube recently, and I kind of wanted to join in on the conversation because I think it's kind of a fun tag and it's always nice to drink and spill some tea, right? This is going to be the most well-steeped tea by the end of this video. Before we get into the questions though, I really would love you to like this video and subscribe, and also click the bell icon if you want to see my uploads, because you have to actively tell YouTube that you want to know when I put up videos. Otherwise, they just won't tell you. So please do that. It really helps me out. And now let's jump right into this tag, which I don't remember who it was created by, but I will link the original video in the description. Let's get down to business. I'm not gonna sing this time. Don't you worry. What is something nobody told you about BookTube before you started your channel? I didn't really know much about BookTube before I started my channel. I just kind of noticed that it was there and I was already kind of wanting to start a YouTube channel. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So that inspired me to talk about books. But I didn't have like a lot of expectations because I hadn't been like watching BookTube for a long time at that point. I guess there's two things that I didn't know. The first is very positive. I was very positively surprised by, and that is how supportive and kind the whole community is. And that's not just including the creators, but also the commenters. If you go, I feel like, to any other sub community on YouTube, you will always have people that leave like really nasty comments and that are just horrible trolls online and like literally have nothing else to live for than to tear other people down. And I feel like, at least in my experience, you don't really find that as much on here. I've never really gotten a truly terrible comment that was like a personal attack, or that had nothing at all to do with sort of what I was saying in the video, and more just with me as a person. Everybody that leaves comments on my videos, at least, is very well spoken. I personally attribute this to the fact that people who read books tend to be more intelligent, and intelligent people tend to be able to engage in adult, mature conversations and can come up with arguments that are about the thing itself instead of the person that you're talking to. But who knows? I don't know what it is, but I love that aspect of it. And the second thing I didn't know is that it was gonna be so YA heavy. And at the time I started, I was also pretty much only reading YA, but I still didn't know that like so much of BookTube is YA. And it's gotten better, I feel like, over the years, or I have just like found more channels that actually talk about adult books, or the people that started also kind of grew up and kind of moved into more adult books. I don't know what it is, but it's not as bad as it was at the beginning. I feel like it's just nice to have a bit more variety going, to not read exclusively one thing or exclusively another. That's what I personally prefer, so whatever, might be different for everyone. What is your opinion on typical BookTube videos, wrap-ups, TBRs, hauls, etc.? I love them. Those are my favorite videos. It means that every month and even year, at certain times, I can expect a certain type of content, and I always look forward to it. Like, it's only May and I'm already excited for people's best of the year videos, or like worst of the year videos, and the mid-year book freakout tag that is gonna happen very soon. The wrap-ups at the end and TBRs at the beginning, it's just like a nice way to kind of just like showcase what you're currently reading, what you're currently into, and it allows people to kind of keep up with you on a somewhat regular regular basis, and it's also really easy content to make. Kind of like you don't have to sit down and plan a whole video because you already know what's gonna be coming up to do anyway. So I feel like for both as a viewer and as a creator, I love this type of content. So anybody who hates on that can just go away. Because it's genuinely fun, and people always say like, oh, it's so uncreative. Like, whatever, like, people enjoy it. There's a reason everybody does it. It's because people want to know what you're reading. That's kind of why we're here. What is an assumption you had about BookTube before you joined? Was it proven to be correct or not? See, this is what I said earlier. I don't think I had many expectations or assumptions about it because I just had not gotten like a full view of it at all. I guess I can share an assumption that I had regarding myself on BookTube, which is that I didn't think I was gonna be doing this for so long. Not that I had any specific like plans to quit again, but just knowing myself, I'm very much a mood person. Like, I do what I'm in the mood to do, and my moods change pretty quickly. So just to have like stuck to this one thing for such a long period of time is genuinely amazing to me, and I view it as a success. Yeah, I just did not think that I was gonna enjoy it as much as I did, I guess. So I was luckily proven wrong in that, and I have no plans of quitting anytime soon either. So that's something I was positively surprised by, I guess, in myself. Question number 4. What is something you've done that has actually helped you grow your audience? I don't think I've done anything except not grow my audience. Well, I feel like, this is my theory of my channel, where I've gone right and where I've gone wrong. I feel like the reason I have as many subscribers as I do is in large part due to my language related videos that I used to do, especially like more frequently a few years back, that got a lot more views than my book videos, just because more people are interested in learning languages than necessarily reading books. So that I think boosted my subscribers, but because that's not my regular content, I feel like not many of these subscribers are actually watching my videos. I feel like I should have kind of split my channel at some point and been like, okay, I like make a second channel and put all the non-book content over there and do the book content here. Just kind of like be consistent in my content, because otherwise, especially nowadays with YouTube's algorithm, like if there's one video anybody kind of clicks on that's like, oh, I'm not interested in that, your whole channel is so much less likely to show up for the person anymore. So that is kind of something I did to grow my audience, but also stunt the growth of my audience, I think. It's just a theory. Could be wrong, could be right. I don't know. But yeah. No, I'm not really the best person to come to for advice on that, I think. On that note, though, I have been toying with the idea recently of doing exactly that now. I do have a vlog channel. Technically, it's called Vlogmuse. I might rename it. I don't know. But I think I'm going to do all non-book content over there from now on. Not on any sort of schedule. Not with any sort of pressure attached to it. Just like whenever I want to make a video that's not book related, I want to put it over there. And I think the reason I haven't done that so far is because I thought this has a much bigger like audience already, like subscriber base already. But the thing is still that like it needs to match the content of the channel overall, I think. So that is just something that I've been thinking about recently. If you would be interested in that, or if you would prefer that, let me know. Question number 5, what is a common mistake you see new booktubers making, or one that you made? I just shared with you a mistake I made. You shouldn't do that. If you want to make different types of content, I think it's best to like very different types of content. I think it's best to split them onto a different channel. But as for mistakes I see like newer booktubers make, there's only one thing that I like that like really deters me from watching somebody's video, and it's if their quality, their audio, lighting, or whatever is just bad. I know that not everybody can afford like super fancy high-tech equipment, and the thing to know is that that's not actually necessary. Like you don't need to buy the fanciest camera, you don't need to buy the fanciest lighting or microphone, like, but you do have to have a basic equipment. because otherwise I feel like nowadays and at this level of technology where we're at, people expect a baseline quality to even be able to sit through a video. Where the quality isn't so bad, it's distracting. Like, you don't need to do fancy edits, you don't need to do fancy this or that, but you should get to a level where it's good enough so nobody notices it. Like, it fades into the background and what you're saying and doing can stand out. And that to me is like something I see a lot of people kind of struggle with. I think that this idea that like they can't possibly get equipment that's adequate because they can't afford it, which I understand. But as I said, like, you can get things at a much lower price range than you might expect. So just look into it and then decide if you're really sure that it's not in your price range. I mean, if it's not, then it's not. It is what it is. But just saying, like, for example, I didn't get a microphone for so long because I was convinced I would need to get this like fancy, I'm not sure what it's called, but like it looks kind of like a TV remote and you can like plug different things in it. I don't know. I thought I needed that, and those things are really expensive. And then I kind of just like started looking into it and I found out I don't need that. Like, I am recording on a lapel mic, which cost me like 20 bucks, and it's literally plugged into my phone, and I'm using my recording app on my phone to record audio, and then I use Audacity to edit it. That is literally it. So it's so easy and so inexpensive compared to what I thought that it would cost. So I just recommend like doing that research and then getting your quality to at least the baseline level so that everything else you do can shine in a video. And the second thing I would say is just be yourself, try to be confident, try to not speak in like a really quiet, unsure voice, because that also makes it really hard for people to care and like pay attention to what you're saying. Like, those are just like the two biggest things that I notice in videos that like make me click out of them immediately, because I'm like, I kind of can't watch this. Like, it's just difficult to watch. Number 6, what are your thoughts on working with publishers and sponsorships? I don't really do that, not necessarily because I don't want to, but I don't really get offers that I think are serious offers. Like, I get random emails all the time from like weird companies that want to send me stuff, but like none of it is related to my channel, so I don't want to accept that because it doesn't seem to make sense to me. Like sunglasses or bikinis, like why? What is the actual point? And the second thing is that I'm like a little bit too lazy to do the work to reach out to people. I think just in general I have like a super deep-seated fear of rejection, and I always feel like I'm not, this is getting deep, but like I'm not good enough, I don't have enough views, I don't have enough subscribers, like who is gonna want to give me free stuff, like why? So I don't even go there, and I probably should try to at least get some ARCs or something, because buying books is expensive and I have an actual addiction to owning books, and it would help me out a lot if I could get a few ARCs at the very least. But basically, I don't have anything against this. I think it's totally awesome if you get your channel to a place where people want to give you free books or they want to pay you to showcase books, as long as you're actually being honest with your opinion. That's the point where I would stop being okay with it, because, you know, I feel like at the end of the day, I've said it before, I think the responsibility you have is towards the reader and not necessarily towards a publisher. So I feel like it can turn into a conflict of interest when you're being paid to do a review. That's always a little iffy. And then lastly, do you think BookTube is dying? I don't know where that question comes from. Like, no, I don't think so at all. I think BookTube is growing. And yeah, I don't know, people have been speculating, I feel like for 20 years, that like books are going away, nobody's reading anymore. In just a few years, we will all be essentially illiterate. Like, what? Bitch, where? Like, I feel like I read recently that the book industry is actually doing much better than expected. So as long as the book industry is doing well, I feel like BookTube is also gonna do well. And as long as there's YouTube, there's gonna be BookTube. At least that's my opinion, and I hope that that's the case, because I genuinely can't imagine a time where there won't be YouTube. You have no idea how much YouTube I watch. Like, it's a ridiculous amount, probably unhealthy, but it is what it is, and I genuinely cannot at all imagine not having YouTube in my life. So I hope not. I hope YouTube doesn't die. I hope BookTube doesn't die, but I genuinely don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon because things are going great for both of these things as far as I can tell. So why would they die? But that's a good note, I think, to end this video on. And in order to not let BookTube die, I would really love it if you could like this video and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon so you know when I upload. It's, by the way, spoiler alert, it's every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. I hope to see you back very soon with another video. And until then, have a lovely week. Bye!